So, this is kind of a weird story in which a friend emailed to me and around 20 other people this file. I asked him where he read this, and he told me that someone was spamming it in a chat. I had to edit it since the original text had so many spelling errors. Here's the content. So, I was never a very social guy. I never liked going to parties or playing sports. I like to play video games and that kind of stuff. When I was 19, I got a job at the mall, and that was enough for me to start living alone in a small apartment. My life was pretty ordinary, but, I liked it. When I wasn't working, I was on the internet all day. I didn't use any drugs, although I tried some binaural beats before, or sounds that were supposedly digital drugs, quote-unquote. They never worked for me. It was past midnight, and I was searching on the internet about how binaural beats didn't work. I found a link to a forum, which seemed like people were talking about this. It seemed like it was pretty much abandoned. The posts were from 2009, so I didn't really pay attention to the name of the forum. But I remember it had something to do with the word heavens in it. The creator of the topic was saying that binaural beats didn't work and that he wanted proof. There were about 7 posts, but the last post was from a user called Kepri. I kind of remember it. It said, I don't know about binaural beats, but I have something that works. Try it if you want. There was a file attached to the post called Smas1000031.wmv. It had 110 kilobytes, so I thought that it was some kind of virus. Instead, it was a .wmv file, so I downloaded it. I didn't have any antivirus software, but I opened it anyway and listened with my headphones. As soon as I opened the file, I noticed that it was only 39 seconds. When it started, I could hear something that I guess I could describe as the sound of a strong wind, or maybe someone washing the floor. There were other sounds, but I can't remember or really describe them. There were some really scary sounds, and I immediately started to feel uncomfortable. I kept listening, though. In about 15 seconds, I noticed that there was some really faint voice in the background. It sounded like an old woman, like she was chanting something in some foreign language. At that moment, I felt something that I could only describe as evil, some kind of presence. I wanted to take my headphones away, but I couldn't. I could move, but I didn't want to move my arms. I was scared. Afraid to move my body. I tried to close the player, but it didn't close. I kept clicking, but the player just wouldn't close. So then I quickly turned my computer off. Sound was almost over anyway. I was feeling disturbed, but I had to sleep. I had to work in the morning. The computer was in my room, so I just dropped in my bed. I felt like a child, but I left the lights on. Strange enough, I woke in the middle of the night and looked at the wall. The thoughts of that strange chanting, it quickly invaded my mind. I was trying to get that out of my mind when, suddenly, it came to me that the lights were off, which was strange as I had left them on. I didn't really want to get up. I didn't even want to move. I was feeling a creepy presence, and it was constraining me. I still had to turn the lights on, so I got out of bed slowly and turned the switch back on. That's when I heard quick, heavy footsteps coming from the hall. I got really scared at that moment. I can't even remember what I thought. I asked if someone was there, but no one answered, and the steps stopped. I slowly walked to the bathroom to see if someone was there. I turned on the switch, but found nobody. Then I went to the hall and tried to find the switch. My heart was pumping and I was anxious, but I finally got it. I thoroughly looked at the hall, but everything was just like I left it, and the front door was locked tight. I calmed down a little bit and tried to convince myself that it was one of the neighbors. However, I was still feeling that dreadful aura. I came back to my room and laid in my bed, looking at the door. I thought I wouldn't be able to sleep, but eventually I did start to get some shut-eye. When I was starting to close my eyes, though, a click noise could be heard. Through my open door, I noticed the apartment getting darker. Then I heard some quick and heavy footsteps again, which here followed by another click. The only lit room in the apartment was mine. My vision was slightly blurred, and I was never so scared in my life. I wanted someone to be with me. Anyone. That moment, I saw a head moving from the wall and looking at me through the door. It wasn't a person, though. I mean, the head was so tall, it was almost at the top of my door. The skin was as white as paper. It had no hair or mouth. The eyes were yellow and the face didn't have any expression. I instinctively jumped out of bed and closed the door in one move. I locked it as fast as I could and backed away. I'm terrified in my room, and I've tried to scream, but no one seems to hear. I can still hear heavy footsteps in the house, and it even touched the doorknob several times. I don't know if it can even open the door, but I'm afraid that this will appear in my room anytime soon. Right now, I'm on my computer writing this. I don't know why, but it eases my mind just a little bit. I'm certain this is happening because of that sound that I heard. I don't know what it was or how it was being used, but I think that by hearing that sound, I was cursed with something evil. I don't think that this is some kind of drug effect. Okay? I tried to find that forum again, but it doesn't exist anymore. All I can do is alert other people for this devil's sound. So, I guess if you see a 110 kilobyte WMV file, for God's sake, don't download it.